What's up, you guys? Welcome back, and today I have a new fragrance house to introduce you guys, which they offer a range of affordable, high quality, and truly unique fragrances. As some of you guys know, sometimes on my channel I come across hidden gems that smell expensive, complex, and distinctive while still being budget friendly. Alright, so quickly regarding the house, which is called Nilafar du Nil, and I hope I'm saying the name of the company right. Nilafar du Nil is an Egyptian company created by Abdel Fattah Nassar and Wassim Daboul in Cairo, and I hope I'm not butchering their names. They started the company together back in November 2019, and the way they want to make a difference is by the way Egyptian perfumes are made by using both new and ancient techniques. As I mentioned earlier, this company was established back in 2019, so they're not extremely new, but to my discovery, they are. And they have over 30 fragrances in their collection, which I'm going to review two of their fragrances, which they were launched back in 2022. Now, fortunately, as we speak right now, they got an extremely great sales going on. Not back then when I was testing their fragrances, because I was testing a bunch of them. And as I was narrowing them down to at least one or two that I truly fell in love with, time went by because I usually take my time. I took about a month. I wore them a lot on my skin, on my clothes, to kind of see what they smell like, how long they last, how complex they are. And I was like, God, for $140, 100 ml bottle, these are really fantastic fragrances. They're very unique, very complex. So then I decided to get on their website to kind of check it again to see if they got any new releases coming up in future. And I saw that they got a new sales going on, and they reduced the prices from $140 to $93. I was like, definitely have to review it now, because a lot of my subscribers, they always ask me, they're like, why don't you review some affordable fragrances? Well, today is the day. These are some fantastic, unique, luxurious, complex, and long-lasting fragrances that are going for $93. So the ones that I fell in love with, which the first one that I'm going to review, it's called Towa, which is a very beautiful, complex, amber floral type of scent. All right, so this is the box. It's pretty simple box. Towa. And let's look at the fragrance bottle. It's also pretty simple. I wasn't very much impressed with the bottles. They're very simple, very minimalistic. I do like the box though. Has a nice finish to it. But yeah. Not that anybody really cares, but some people do. That's why I show them. And this is the bottle. As I said, very simple. And some might like this as well. But to me, I was not very impressed. Yeah, this one was a love for me right away. It's just a very beautiful kind of a scent, very complex, very sophisticated, very classy, very heavy, but yet it has this deliciousness, this gourmandness to it as well. Not too much, semi-gourmand, but it's very beautiful, and it smells very expensive. I would definitely see a guy wearing a very nice, expensive suit wearing this. It's very gentleman, classy type of a scent. Again, just knowing the price just blew me away. I could not believe it, specifically the fact that how long it lasts. So to me, this one is a complex, beautiful amber fragrance, high-strung coffee, cardamom, and oud, which almost smells like a serious, sophisticated Middle Eastern semi-gourmand coffee scent that has some serious oud in it. Now, the oud is definitely not skanky, it's more woody, kind of a oud. I'm trying to think of a scent that has this type of oud in it. But the oud almost feels kind of like leathery, woody, not skanky, kind of a oud, very sophisticated kind of a oud. Actually, it's very well tamed. And I think that's what makes the fragrance so balanced, because it kind of, as I mentioned, reminds me of a Middle Eastern coffee that has some serious oud in it. But the CO2 extraction method of the coffee definitely makes the coffee experience very vivid. As I mentioned, kind of reminds me of going into a Middle Eastern coffee shop and ordering some coffee with cardamom spice on top of it. It kind of smells like that. But then you get the oud in here, which kind of counterpoints the coffee, the spices, and kind of makes it a very serious and luxurious type of a scent. So, as I mentioned earlier, imagine a Middle Eastern coffee delicacy mixed with delicious spices of cardamom, which brings the true smell of kava, which is the original name for coffee throughout Africa, an Arab traditional form of coffee note, which is mixed with this beautiful rose and heliotrope to add some colorful deliciousness to the scent. Yeah, besides all these delicacies, there's definitely some serious woodiness that is created by cashmere wood, oud, and ambrosanite. There's also a hint of smokiness because of ambrosanite and oud. So the woodiness is accompanied by some faint smokiness as well. Very nice and sophisticated touch to the scent. The presence of rose in here is in a very unique and delicate way with heliotrope, which doesn't make this like an intense cafe type of a scent. But because of cardamom and other spices, it makes it more of a spicy take of coffee and rose scent. So what I'm trying to say is that you do not get a milkiness feel, but more of like a powderiness facet to this very strong coffee note. It also has balsamic body to it with resinous touches as well due to the good dose of styrax and benzoin, which also adds to the amber body of this fragrance in the dry down. Now in the dry down, you definitely get this beautiful dusty, leathery, suede-like feel to the scent with some muskiness which makes the amber accord shine. Alright, so all in all, what you get with Towa, it is an amber floral type of a scent with a strong hints of black coffee and cardamom. It definitely has some oud in here that you can smell. Now, I don't know if it's real or not. It definitely has to be synthetic. It's woody, it's vanillic, it's sweet, it's warm, spicy. Besides that beautiful amber body, it has a balsamic body to it as well. There's this delicate rosy facets to it, which is done very beautifully, very delicate. It's definitely powdery. That powderiness has also this dustiness as well. It has this leathery, somewhat suede-like tonality to it. It's smoky and musky at the same time. Alright, so next one we have Tanis Tabac, which is a woody floral type of a scent, which was launched back in 2022. And the nose behind this scent is Michelle Mulhausen. Now, this one, the name can be misleading to some, especially if you're not familiar with specific notes that are used in here. So when you hear Tanis Tabac, like tobacco, you will think of pipe tobacco. And this is not what you get with Tanis Tabac. This is the box. Again, very simple. Tanis Tabac. There is the bottle. Again, not a big fan of the bottles. All right, so this one was another beauty that I fell in love with out of the whole entire collection. Again, I sampled a bunch of them, and these two stood out the most. And I have to say that Toa would be great for fall and winter time, and Tanis Tabac would be great for spring and summer nights. I mean, you can definitely pull this off during the winter too. Again, everything when it comes to fragrances are very subjective. But this one is more of a white floral take on tobacco blossom. So it's not your pipe tobacco kind of a scent as you would be expecting. You have to be familiar with tobacco blossom notes and tobacco leaf, even though there is some tobacco leaf in here, and there will be at some point where you get this almost tobacco-ish kind of a vibe from this, but this is mostly a suede-like, white floral, hay-like kind of a tobacco fragrance, which doesn't really smell like tobacco or cigarette ashes or anything like that. It's very beautiful. The opening is gorgeous. It's kind of sweet. It's white floral. It's beautiful. And it's very complex, and that's what I love about it. And interestingly, when I was testing these two and I sprayed them on my skin, tobacco, Tanis Tabac, actually lasted longer on my skin. This one lasted over 12 hours on my skin. Even the next day when I woke up, I could strongly smell it on my skin. So this one right here is a powerhouse. But it's also very beautiful. It's very complex, very sophisticated. It has this vintage aura about it as well, which I love. And it has a multi-faceted life cycle to it. So this fragrance offers a refreshing combination of fresh wood, musk, and floral notes with a unique twist of tobacco, somewhat suede-like nuances, thanks to the presence of tobacco blossom and some suede. Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, it presents a floral interpretation of tobacco accentuated by the essence of tobacco blossom alongside notes of Egyptian jasmine, tuberose, Casablanca lily, and subtle hints of soft spices. All right, so Tanis Tabac definitely opens up sweet, white floral, opulent with a green facet to it, which must be jasmine on the opening, alongside with a spicy floral note, which is sweet and waxy, and that must be lily mingling with Egyptian jasmine. So you do get a big white floral on the opening, which is sweet, warm, spicy, waxy, and fresh spicy at the same time. But don't let the white floral part scare you off, because it is accompanied by this rich, warm, and sweet herbaceous hay and leather-like scent with dry floral tonality, which gives it a very unique balance and character to the scent. Now, as the fragrance is opening up more, it is becoming woody as well, which also helps counterpoint the floral aspect of this fragrance. As we get to the heart of Tanis Tabac, the floral part of this fragrance becomes very interesting because, as I mentioned earlier, one of the biggest notes in this scent, besides the white floral, is tobacco blossom. And that's where people get confused with the name of the scent, because this is not your pipe tobacco or moist tobacco type of a scent. It is a fresh floral take of tobacco due to tobacco blossom characteristics. You see, as I mentioned earlier, tobacco blossom has this hay and leather scent with dry floral tonality, very inviting and not at all smelling like rich pipe tobacco or cigarette ash. Again, this is very dominating white floral fragrance with kind of grassy hay-like, leatherish, dry floral tonality to it. Now, I do have to say, as the fragrance makes more progress into the heart and gets to the beginning of the dry down, just the beginning of it, I do have to say that you do get the smell of tobacco leaf, which tobacco leaf, again, it's different than tobacco blossom, which means it does eventually become a little tobacco-ish with warm, spicy, and ambery facet to it. But because of bouquet of white flowers, it stays fresh and sweet throughout its life cycle. Yeah, the white flowers are very beautiful, very indolic. Now, regarding the white flowers, the main ones are Egyptian jasmine, Casablanca lily, and tuberose, which are the stars of white floral stage of this interesting, somewhat vintage, woody, musky white floral scent. Yes, you heard me right. Tanis Tabac definitely has a vintage aura about it, which makes it very beautiful and very unique. Also, the other characteristic that I like about this scent is its waxiness. There's this beautiful waxiness that complements the suede-like nature of Tanis Tabac. Now, the sweetness that it has because of the white flowers, the indolicness of it also gets amplified by honey. So the sweetness of the honey definitely adds to the sweetness and indolicness of these white florals. And also there's this waxiness, as I mentioned, to this scent, which is from honey complementing Casablanca lily. They both have this waxy and sweet personality. Yeah, so I do have the dry down of Tanis Tabac here, which I sprayed it about, I think 10 hours ago this morning, because it just makes it so much easier for me to explain the fragrance much better. So in the dry down, the fragrance becomes definitely very musky, leathery, suede-like with a beautiful amber body, which turns milky, powdery, sweet, warm, spicy, which definitely can be from musk, honey, sandalwood, opoponax, suede, labdanum, cinnamon, and ambergris at play. Alright, so all in all, what you get with Tanis Tabac, it is a white floral, ambery, warm, spicy, yet fresh spicy, sweet floral type of a scent with woody, musky, powdery, hay, and somewhat leather-like, or better said, suede-like undertones that is reminiscent of fresh floral tobacco. Alright, you guys, so that's all I have for Tanis Tabac and Towa. These two were right up my alley. I truly fell in love with these two, and their prices are phenomenal. As I mentioned, they got a sale going on right now, 100 ml bottle for $93. But I would definitely suggest you guys first to get a sample, to check them out, to see which fragrances you guys like. And I'm telling you guys, their quality, their uniqueness, and how long they last is just amazing when it comes to their prices. And that's it, you guys. Hopefully I'll see you guys soon with another video. Bye.